This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, everybody, it's Dr. Doug Smith. It is 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, so it is time for our 1 p.m. Monday through Thursday podcast. This is where you will hear the science of what actually happened in the opioid crisis. That's all we do here is present the science. We don't, well, if I give you my opinion, I'll tell you my opinion. For instance, if I say that the psychiatrists, I think, are a bunch of wing nuts, that's my opinion. And I'll tell you that's my opinion. If I tell you, like yesterday, I told you that the psychiatrist and the addiction specialist, they had blood on their hands. Well, that's my opinion. Okay, but for the most part, we stick to the facts, stick to the science. And what I want to direct your attention to right now is the screen in front of you. Okay, there's the big three. That's the big trio. This is what the psychiatrist and the addiction specialist have to ignore in order to begin the process of getting people to believe in the fairy tale of opioid addiction, opioid use disorder, that what's going on with the opioids is a mental health issue. Okay, now what you see in front of you, that's what real science looks like. That's not a bunch of psychiatrists sitting around contemplating their navel. That's what real science looks like. Okay, that is real science in front of you. And it's three separate articles, and they all kind of say the same thing. The gold standard of science is when science is able to replicate itself. That's what the psychiatrist is ignoring. That's what the psychiatrist is not doing. Okay, but what's in front of you, that's jelly tight, rock solid, rock of Gibraltar science right there in front of you. And we refer to science by referring to the lead investigator, the lead researcher. So the one on the top left there, okay, it says M. Dell. No, that is not Michael Dell from Dell Computers. Okay, and so we refer to this as the Dell study. Okay, and the second one there, that's Chang. So we refer to that one as Chang study. And then the one down below there, that's Kinebaum. So we refer to that as the Kinebaum study. And these three studies taken together are what I call the adrenaline studies. Now, I use the term adrenaline because that's what the layperson uses. It's the term adrenaline. In the medical world, we don't use the term adrenaline, although they do in England. We use the term catecholamines because we like big words that are hard to spell. So catecholamines. That's the big fancy word for adrenaline. And in the human, there's three catecholamines. There's three adrenalines: epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. In the insects and the invertebrate world, there's one adrenaline, and it's octopamine, named after the octopus because it was originally isolated in the octopus. But that's the invertebrate world, the world of animals that don't have bones. But in our world, in the vertebrate world, well, there it is right there. It's these three studies with epinephrine, norepinephrine, and dopamine. These are the adrenaline studies. This is what the psychiatrist wants you to ignore in order to believe in the fairy tale of a mental health disorder called opioid addiction. And what you see here is the same thing, and we've gone over this a whole bunch. Okay, so those of you right now that are rolling your eyes and going, he's talking about adrenaline again. Yeah, I am. Yes, I am, and I will be in the future. He's talking about adrenaline again. Can't we talk about something else? Well, as we looked at yesterday, it's adrenaline that are killing our people. Okay, and it's the adrenaline that has been ignored. And I think it's extremely important that we stand our ground and stand our ground on science. And so what we're doing here is we're now going through the second citizens petition. And yes, right up front in the second citizens petition, I put the fact that a whole bunch of people have died from adrenaline toxicity, and I put the studies that show the adrenaline toxicity. I put it right up front because I'm calling out the psychiatrist. I'm calling out the addiction specialist. I'm pulling back the curtain on their fraud. And I am saying, as I said yesterday, I see blood on their hands. That's my opinion. I see blood on their hands because they ignored this science. And what really matters about this science is that when an animal, a human, whatever, goes into opioid withdrawal, they lose control of their adrenaline levels. Okay, and there it is in the Dell study, the Chang study, and the Kinebaum study. Dell showed it with mice. Chang replicated it with mice. Kinebaum showed it also occurred in humans. There's no ignoring it. It's right there. When you go into opioid withdrawal, you lose control of your adrenal gland, and your adrenaline levels go sky high, and they will kill you. Okay, and so that's how I wanted to start off the second citizens petition. I want to put this right in their face because what we're going to go through in the second citizens petition, we're going to go through how this happened, how the psychiatrist was able to do this. Okay, and what we're going to find out is that the person who invented modern science, Dr. Karl Popper, the type science we use today, the type science that's behind those three studies in front of you, that's called Popperian science. You put forth a hypothesis and you do everything you can to disprove it. Okay, that's how science is done. It's not so much you try to prove something, you try to disprove it. That's how science is done. Okay, because it's almost impossible to prove something, but you can disprove things. And once something is disproven, it's disproven, and you either develop a new hypothesis or change your current hypothesis and move on and keep working. Okay, so that's what the psychiatrists are not doing. And you will see that Dr. Karl Popper himself, the father of modern science, okay, you will see that he warned everybody. Do not trust the psychiatrist. Do not trust what they do. What they do is not real science. He called it pseudoscience. He said you cannot trust psychiatry. You cannot trust a psychiatrist because what they do is not real science. Now, I don't want to get too technical about it, but the reason it's not real science is because Popper had a thing called the falsification principle, that in order for something to be true science, it has to be able to be proven false. Okay, so that's why don't we hold here for today? We will pick up on this tomorrow. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about pseudoscience, the psychiatrist, what Karl Popper warned people about, and what Dr. Popper warned people about is exactly what happened with this opioid crisis. It's not similar to, it is exactly what happened. So let's hold here for today. My name is Dr. Doug Smith. We will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We're here every Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Please like and subscribe to us. Post this podcast on your social media and everybody else's social media, and we will see you here tomorrow.